Okay, well, here we are, here we are, here we are. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the CO visit. Welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's having a good day. And if you're already connected and watching, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. And of course, accompanied by my trusty coffee, always. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to be, well, at least for now, I'm going to be doing my live stream all by my lonesome because my trusty sidekick is a bit under the weather today, so he can't join me today. Hello, David. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you being here. I'm glad you made it. You're a man of your word. That's important. Welcome, everybody else that's here. 3 people already, looks like, according to the chat counter or the number of people here. That's good. Thank you and welcome. So, yeah, the public meeting and talk. Yeah, something of the sorts. Something of the sort. So, hope everything is going well wherever you're hailing from right now, whatever time it is where you are, or time zone. So, welcome to this CO Visit live stream. So, we're going to be talking about a couple things today. Okay, and I'm going to start out with basically just having a discussion here, and you can help me carry the discussion also in the chat amongst yourselves as well. And let me just let's see here. I gotta remember how to do this. I got such a bad memory. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I know. So the Memorial Black Mass exactly isn't. Let me just put that up. Isn't until April 12th on a Saturday of all nights to have it. Sorry, guys, I had to mute myself. I'm still with this damn cold too. That's just, man, I tell you, these things just hold on. They will not go away. So I'm still with this just kind of chest cough that I had from all this dust. Anyway, yeah, all nice to have it. So we're going to talk about it already because we got to be getting ready since the J-Dubs are going to be out on force with their preaching campaigns to invite people. We need to talk about it as well, especially those of you out there that may or may not be ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who still profess faith in God or in Jesus, whether you go to church or not. But it's very important to really understand and get into our heads just what the Jehovah's Witness memorial represents. And for any Christian, okay, not the fake version that the Watchtower Society has made up for itself. No Christian, true Christian, should be associated whatsoever with, as Dave so well put it, the Black Mass. Okay, and that's an expression that people use quite often. But why do we call it that? Well, because it's the opposite of everything that it should be. And when we're talking about everything having to do with Jesus, okay, let me put as a base 1 John chapter 2 and verse 18 and forward. Okay, in 1 John chapter 2 verse 18 and forward, it talks about the Antichrist, which basically is a group of scriptures that has been very, sensationalized and exaggerated, and there's all kinds of, there's been movies about it, there's been dramatizations about it, there's a ton of TikTok videos and the such out there about the Antichrist. Like, it's, this idea that, even if you look it up in the AI Google, it says that, and mistakenly, that it's going to be one person, basically Satan in the flesh, representing Satan. It's one man, and that's not the case. Okay, let's just, it's really great for entertainment. Okay, that's really great for, like I said, social media, videos, conspiracy type theories, some of the movies that they've made about the Antichrist and the rapture, which is also misunderstood. However, the Antichrist, very clearly set out in the Bible in First John, is not just one person. Okay, it's not one manifestation of Satan, even though Satan can be behind that, and of course be fomenting that kind of stuff. But it's laid out there very clearly. It says, who is the liar? Who is the Antichrist? It is any person that denies that Jesus is the Christ. Okay, and then it goes on to say more about whoever denies the Father, then denies the Son, and so that's the Antichrist. Anybody that works against the purpose of Christ and his teachings. So by definition, Watchtower is an Antichrist. And if you open your eyes to this fact that just what their religion represents and what the memorial represents, they deny their members a personal knowledge and a personal relationship with the Lord in every fashion possible. So when you look at what do they do? Okay, first of all, you can't partake of the emblems. I mean, you can, yeah, technically, yes, you can do whatever you want, right? You can, but it's not looked upon very well. You're not supposed to. If you're a witness, you know that you're really not supposed to do that. Okay? I mean, it's just something you don't do. Okay? So the great majority, and which backs up what I'm saying, because almost all Jehovah's Witnesses almost don't participate in the emblems. So they're denying you that communion with Christ. So you can't participate in the communion with Christ. You can't worship Christ. You can't pray to him. You can't do any of those things. Okay? So absolutely. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Absolutely drench. And David, what you're saying as well. I'll try to get up. Let me get up here in order, get your comments up so you can see them and everybody else as well. That provokes other thoughts of other people. We were taught as JWs to use Watchtower's version of Jesus as bait this time of year, of course. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Then they focus on Jesus, right? When they want to get people to the memorial. But the fact of the matter is, he's in the back seat. And so they're denying you any type of worship, prayer, the communion, and the last supper, all of that's denied. And not only that, if you do partake, what have they said straight out in their literature? Well, it's probably mental illness. The person's mistaken, or they're mentally ill, or maybe because of past religious beliefs and stuff like that, which is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? And the reason why do you guys think, let me just put this question out there. Why do you guys think a religion like Jehovah's Witnesses sets apart a group of people that are the only ones that can partake and have this direct connection with Jesus, which would be the anointed ones, the governing body? Why do they do that? Why do you think? Because it gives them power. If they believed, as they should as Christians, that we're all anointed, we can all have that communion with Christ, then that takes away their specialness. It takes away their, exactly, hierarchical power and status. Yes, exactly, my friend. That's exactly it. All of a sudden, you're putting everybody on 2-2, everybody on the same level, right? And then they lose that special status. And all of a sudden, well, you can't have a luxury suite up there in Patterson or Wallkill or wherever they are. It's a power thing. Okay, it's all about power. It's all about being this other class, this other elite class, so they can rule over the other ones, everybody else, right? Makes you feel special, sets you apart from everybody else. Okay. um Yeah. So exactly. So yeah, they themselves behave and treat people so often in an antichrist way. Okay, that's interesting because you're absolutely right. I just had the other day this person that made a comment on one of my videos. It was actually this person made a comment on one of my YouTube shorts where I was talking about, how Watchtower doesn't do charity work and things like that. And then because they're always talking about when the kingdom comes, that will take care of all that stuff. Everything else, we can't do anything right now in the system. So in the short, I said, but do you show that the kingdom has already come in you? There's no reason to wait. The kingdom's inside of you because we are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And we are, as Jesus said in the different letters of the apostles, okay, and Paul said and others that we are one. We're one with the Lord as he is one with his Father. So we have that spirit in us. And so because of that, this person made a comment and said that made no sense at all. That doesn't make any sense. And so I answered back. I didn't know if that person was, being an ass or not. So I just answered back and I explained it. And it took a while, but then eventually a week or so, a couple of weeks later, the person answered back and and I found out, okay, this is a JW apologist. Okay. And all this stuff about defending the Watchtower and who's doing the preaching work, and have you ever been, Jehovah's Witnesses don't treat people badly. Have you ever been treated badly by a Jehovah's Witness? No, right? And all this stuff. And I'm just like, listen, I said, first of all, you're asking me all of these questions, but then you answer them yourself. So are you really interested in my answer? Or otherwise we have nothing to talk about because you're already convinced, right? I mean, I can't reason with someone that's already completely convinced in their mind. And I said, but I mean, if you really want to know, I mean, have I ever been treated bad by a Jehovah's Witness? Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? And then interestingly that I said that, then the guy answers back again and thought that I had erased one of his comments. And he said, oh, now you're erasing my comment, which I didn't do. I don't know why he couldn't see it, but he said, oh, now you're erasing my comments. He said, that just proved me right. You're just a little bitch. And I answered him back and I said, dude, did you just read what you sent me? Like, have I ever been treated? Yes. Like 5 seconds ago by you, right? I mean, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. But anyway, back to my topic here. Yeah, not just one, but many more. Absolutely. And so it's like, do they even realize what they're saying? Do people realize what they're saying? It's unbelievable, these people in the comments. But anyway, after that, I blocked the person because, we can have that conversation. I didn't care if the person was disagreeing, but once he or she, started using language like that and insulting me, then I blocked him. So anyway, yeah, it's unbelievable. So, so anyway, back to the topic about the Black Mass, okay, the memorial, the Antichrist, the gathering of the Antichrists. You see, what happens is just like we say in psychology, when people constantly talk about a group, when they constantly label a group, usually what happens is that they're just projecting what they actually are. So when they talk about apostates all the time, when they talk about, for example, antichrists and things like that, that's exactly what they are. They are the apostates. It's not us. They are the apostates. They are the antichrists because of the way that they reject Jesus and they get their members to do the same. They take it upon themselves to say, you do not pray to Jesus. You do not worship Jesus. You do not do this. You do not do that, and partaking of the emblems. If you do that, you're mentally ill. So it's just unbelievable, right? So any Christian or anybody, even if it's a person who was in a different Christian denomination before, who's thinking about going to the Jehovah's Witness memorial, think twice about it. Think twice about it. TM, hello. TM, hello. Welcome here. And I appreciate all of you everybody that's here once again here at the CO visit, and I've got my trusty coffee here. I'm doing this by myself tonight because my trusty sidekick, uh, Jeff, and a shout out to Jeff if he's watching, but I think he's in bed. He's sick, pretty sick right now, so he couldn't join us tonight. So yeah, I don't think they even count the partakers any longer. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so, because since there's no yearbook, that used to be a highlight in the yearbook with all the statistics, but yeah, I don't think it really matters anymore, and it wouldn't be convenient for them. That kind of stuff, I think they learned their lesson that it's better not to be counting, out of sight, out of mind, because then people keep track of that, and then whether it's going up or down, they start to speculate on things, right? So I never hear them address the black mass, not even in a wake or watchtower. I'm going to see them coming around. I'll show them what black mass is. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the same here. I mean, if I ever, for any reason, did go to a memorial, I would partake of the two emblems, and then I would probably stand up and disrupt the little meeting and tell everybody in there that you should be partaking. Everybody here should be partaking. And all the people that are here, okay, the people who are visiting here, you're going against Christ. You're going against Christ as they quickly whisk me out the door, right? The bodyguards, the bouncers. So Drench says, Jeff, big up yourself from Jamaica. Yeah, thank you, Drench. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if Jeff's watching or not, but he told me that, he was like, I'm in bed. So he's like, I can't join. So poor him. I'm going to Catholic church on Easter Sunday, Monday. Cool. Good. Yep. And those are really special. Yep. I went to the masses in the past for, for Easter and all those things, and Christmas time. And it was very solemn occasion. I liked it. I liked it a lot, So that's with the that shunning party, the shunning get together that they do there, as one of the, if I may steal an expression, but I'll give credit to where credit's due. David introduced me to this lingo. I guess I'm getting behind on some of the XJW lingo, but everybody there is going to have their shun glasses on, right? So that's another thing that's hard to deal with, because even when, once again, one more thing that makes them an antichrist, and that that they reject Jesus, is that Jesus went to dinners, he went to the houses of Pharisees where there were sinners, okay, and there were the poor and the homeless and prostitutes and all those things that went there. Jesus wasn't shunning people, okay? He wasn't shunning anybody. When we talked about like what he did, how he spoke to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all of them, well, that was different. Those were the religious leaders who should have identified him and recognized him as the Christ. Yeah, there we go, Dave. That's it. The shun glasses. It would be awesome. Hey, we should come up with some actual sunglasses and have printed on each lens, shun and glasses. Wouldn't that be awesome? Man, you could do so much marketing stuff with that. Got your shun glasses on today? Yep, and the culture. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, those are things that it's really crazy. Really is. So I'm gonna, let me see here. I'm gonna go in here to the comics. I want to post a comment myself. And let me get this in here. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna throw that out there. If anybody out there is if you're feeling brave, there's the link. You can come on and jump in here for a few minutes and say hi if you'd like and chat, or you got the comment section, whichever you like. So appreciate everybody being here. 13 people watching so far. Thanks for being here. Thanks for clicking on this video, and all of you for supporting the CO visit in all of its diverse ways. Just by being here, it's a support, and I appreciate that. Every time you watch a video, every time you suffer through an ad, every time you hit the like button, it's helping the channel, and it's helping me with the situation that I have with my daughter, as many of you know. And so I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do for the channel and helping me with that. Okay. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what life's about, helping each other. So I do appreciate that. And let me just see here in a second here, checking out something here, making sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, that's what's coming up in April. You know, the JW Black Mass shunning party, whatever you want to call it. And so that's the time of the year when you see that culture come into play once again. Here we go. Hold on a second. We got someone here. I'm going to add my friend.
Hey,
Hello.
how you doing? I am here in my kitchen in Jamaica. Big up everybody who's watching.
Welcome, Drench. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you're a lady. I
Yes,
had no
I'm
idea.
a girl.
Welcome, welcome. Well, nice to meet you in person finally.
Good to be here.
Thank you, thank you. So, so what's go ahead and you know, since you're here with us in person now, what's your view now on this whole get together, the memorial, and all that? How do you see it now?
Okay, well, where I am in Jamaica, we normally have the highest count in the country. So usually our count would be like we have two sessions, one early and one late, and one would be each would be like near 500 persons per per session. Now,
Yeah.
um, I started waking up about 2017, um,
Okay.
and I wasn't baptized, but I grew up in it. Every time I was supposed to go actually get baptized, I changed my mind because there's just something that just wasn't
Just
sitting right.
yeah.
What I did was, I had a very sick son. Well, he used to lives with my mom. But and I remember this was actually what broke me. Healthcare in Jamaica for some persons is free, but I had to pay a lot of money in the hospital in Kingston. And he was
Okay.
having constant seizures. He would have seizures like as long as he's awake, he's having seizures. Uh,
Wow.
there was one sister who said to me, I should just let him die
Really
and wait for resurrection. And I said to her, no, I'm not going to do that. And
unbelievable.
that is the scope of indoctrination that these people have. Now, I went back to the house and I remember she was taking out all of these magazines. She was getting rid of all of the magazines, all the books, all the magazines. I said, why are you taking all of these magazines out? And she said to me, I'm taking these out because the elder said that we should get rid of all of these literature. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, why did you keep them all this time? They could have told you to get rid of them from a long time ago. But then I realized that most of what was in the literature would be damning to the teachings.
Right. Right.
But they are so indoctrinated that they can't see through that. They can't see through that. And I think that statement that she made woke me up, along with another statement that another lady made. She used to study with me when I was a little girl, like 9 or 10. And
Sure.
she said she wants Armageddon to come now so God can throw a big rock and hit me and kill me.
Wow. Amazing.
And I think that was the straw that broke my back. I never went back. After that date, it was COVID that was coming up shortly. So it was
Sure.
just
Sure.
before COVID. And then I just stopped going altogether. I woke up
Right.
in COVID and I decided not to go back.
Yeah. Wow. That's such an impacting
David,
testimony.
David, he didn't get any blood, honey. He did not get any blood. He only had seizures. So they didn't have to give him anything, just a medication that would be like that,
Sure.
to quiet the seizures down, to quiet the activity in his brain.
Yeah.
But I was told to let him die, and I was told that she wanted God to throw a stone and hit me and kill me because I
Wow.
get baptized. And I said, I don't want to get baptized.
Right.
But I
Right.
never wanted to get baptized. When I grew up there, my mom started studying when she was pregnant with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 50 next year.
Sure.
Long time. I've never been to church like, regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I was exposed to catechism while in school because I actually went to a diocese school. So I I went to two diocese school, private schools in Jamaica. So, and I actually work in a diocese school. It's a Catholic school that I work. And I went to mass, even though I was at Kingdom Hall. I still go to mass. I'm a very diverse person. So if there's a Jewish temple and I can go in there and learn something, I'm going to go in there. I'm very open.
Sure. Sure. Why
And
not?
that was something that puzzled them because they don't like persons who are open to other culture. They're not open to persons to other thinking. They're not open to persons who do anything like that. You know,
Right.
they only want you to think what they want you to think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm a university student, so, and I went to college already. So my thinking doesn't. You can't put my thinking in a box because I love to read and I
Sure.
write books. So my thinking cannot be put in a box. I cannot be put in a box. And I believe that that quality I had was what helped me to not become baptized.
Right.
I think that's the best decision. I never did.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just amazing. And you know what? Well, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about, that those difficulties that you have with your son. I know that must be
Yeah,
very
it's quite hard.
difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very difficult. And what you just said, both of those things that they said to you just shows, look how many places, how many regions we're representing here. Okay. We've got people here from Canada, we've got people here from the United States. You're in Jamaica, I'm in Honduras. And I just made a video where I mentioned that, and I said that, the witnesses know it's true too. When they come back to the car, for example, or if they're in a group where they're preaching door to door, and you come back to the car, what do people say? Oh, I hope when Armageddon comes, that a rock will fall on that house. Oh, I hope those people get killed.
But the thing
I,
about it is they are
you
actually
know,
looking for persons to be destroyed so they
yes,
can benefit
yes,
from their property. That's what
yes.
I'm saying. They always say,
They look
oh,
forward.
God
They look
come
forward to people dying.
that house. Yes, I know.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the
And look
mentality.
what they said to you, and you were in the congregation. I mean, it's amazing, and asking someone, actually telling somebody to let a family member die. The level of brainwashing that people have, is insane. And what you just mentioned as well about when they made that, those announcements to start getting rid of literature. That, I mean, for me, I'm the same as you. I don't care how indoctrinated I was. That would have told me, like, you want me to do what? Get rid of all this old literature? Why?
So the last convention I went to was, I believe, in 2017. 2017, because I was in America for the next 2 years. And when I was sitting there, I carried my children because I have three boys who live in Jamaica with me right now. I took them there and we
Hmm.
had a wonderful time. Now, it was after lunch and they had just given out all these speech about what money they needed to collect to cover the cost of the assembly, the convention. It was a 3-day convention. Um, and one of the elders, he was speaking from the platform, and he said that if you have jewelry or if you have anything like that value, land. If you want to write, leave them in your will. If they want to leave.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What is God doing with more land? Because all the land
He
belongs.
owns everything. Yeah.
Yes, so I was a bit upset about that, and I'm like, so
Yeah.
I have children, and I should not let my children inherit my hard-earned properties and my money, and I should leave my
Hmm.
grandkids and so on. So then I started little things started to
Yeah.
click, and I
Starts
decided,
making sense.
no,
Yeah.
this isn't for me. And yesterday I was in the supermarket. You know, in Jamaican talking, them set supermarket for me. So I cannot pass a supermarket without going there and buying something. So yesterday I was doing a bit of shopping. The lady who was my study conductor, she studied with me. She was in the supermarket. Hi, CJ.
Mhm.
This woman looked at me as if I were like, I was so invisible. Remember,
Yeah.
I'm not baptized.
Sure.
And she's looking at me as if I'm not there.
Yeah.
I started laughing. I just burst out laughing because that is not going to do anything to me. I was in
Right.
a third ride. The lady in the front is the wife of an elder. And I went,
Hmm.
hello, and she didn't answer. And I'm like, okay.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, I have no feelings towards them. I pity them really. I really feel sorry for the mind control that they have. And I am a deep dive person. So if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna study something, I'm gonna go deep dive. And
Sure.
what I learned when I started doing my deep dive, segregation, racism, all of those things
John.
embodied how this religious group started. It didn't start with everybody on the same page. What did they do during the civil rights movement? Nothing.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
what did they do in South Africa during the apartheid period and many other countries? Nothing.
Right.
What are they doing in Jamaica? Nothing. So I'm happy I got a chance to come on because today I was in Ocherios, about 3 miles from where I'm living. And as I got out the food store, a lady handed me a daily bread. It's a daily bread, it's a book, something that we would call it
Sure.
extended scriptures, but it's a daily.
Sure. Sure. Yep.
And I use the daily bread every day when I'm doing devotion at school. And I use it for myself as well. So she gave me a daily bread. And she said to me, I said, how much do I owe you for the daily bread? She said, no, 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 it's totally free. And upon that, she said, we have soup right there. So if you're hungry or if you want something to eat, you can just go.
Wow.
Let me ask you something in Jamaica terms now. What a Trinidad girl there. You ever see them put up anything like that?
Yeah.
You ever
Yep.
see Joas with this put on one pot and call some people and say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you this watchtower. Just come on and sit with us a little bit and drink some soup.
Yeah. When has anybody ever seen once in your life any Jehovah's Witness congregation give
Oh,
something to the community? Anybody? Anybody raise your hand? Right? Nobody, right? Because it doesn't exist.
CJ, have you ever seen anything like that? Well, the church that I became affiliated with about 3 years ago, they do a day when they cook food.
JW food cart.
They would take the food out
Good
to
one.
the homeless people because we do have homeless people and we have persons who have mental problems, they have mental illness, persons living on the street. You have persons who are drug addicts living on the street. And they extend that grace. They extend the arm of grace.
Yes.
JW is not going to extend the hand of grace. They're going to tell you to go die and wait for God to wake you up so you can get something nice.
That's right.
You need it now. You need help now. The house is falling down, and some of these JW, but the patrons, the JW fans, the house is actually
Mhm.
falling down on some of them. And this is what they will do. They will leave their house that is falling down on them, and they would go to build a kingdom hall because they're on the construction team.
Yeah,
If your house needs to be repaired, is the construction team going to come and repair your home? Hello?
mm-hmm, yep,
Or one-sided. So then I figured out it's a one-sided match.
that's right,
This is what
absolutely.
they will never win. It's a one-sided match. A one-sided
CJ answers never. Thank you. Case in point. There
it's
you
a
go.
match. So
Straight from,
you
yep,
can't beat them. I mean, I saw where Norwegian courts they overturned the and I did comment. I mean, I know you saw my comment,
mm-hmm,
and I'm saying, how much was the payoff? Excuse me, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. How much was the payoff? Because I
yeah,
am sure that means the testimony of those persons in the Norwegian court, the pain and suffering for those persons in the Norwegian court
yeah,
was totally disregarded and dismissed by the Norwegian court.
right,
The court was upheld. So why now is it removed? I cannot understand for the
yeah,
life of me.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know either.
The thing is, they changed their shunning policy to not to remove it, but to soften it.
Mm-hmm,
You can't soften emotional sabotage. It's just one thing. There's no softening of emotional sabotage.
absolutely.
But then again, we are going to leave them to their own demise because a lot more countries are going to be opening up commissions of inquiry and royal commissions.
Mm-hmm,
And I can assure you that Japan is going to open them up. The Irish is going
mm-hmm,
to open them up. The UK has begun to open them up. New Zealand, and not to mention Australia. So let us see. Um,
yeah,
it is not a blow to the apostate community. It is going to be something that will come and bite them in the back because I might be gone, but the court cases are going to be remaining.
that's right.
And 10, 20 years down the line, you are going to see what is going to happen.
That's right. And ultimately, the ultimate tribunal they can't escape from ever, which is God's.
Yeah, they are going to have to answer at some
They're going to
point.
have to answer to God, and
I
you
did
know,
one.
and we're gonna continue. So, Butterfly Queen, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I did state, I think, under one of your one of your videos, that it's only a matter of time. One second. It is only a matter of time before they equate themselves with God Himself, and then they will be looked on as gods. Because
Correct,
right now there are many gods, so they'll
correct.
be looked at as gods. Um, and then a lot of persons will wake up at that time. Because if you are saying that you are the faithful and discreet slave, and I am a good for nothing slave, so it doesn't matter how much work I put in,
Mm-hmm.
your work is going to be more important than mine because you're faithful and discreet, and I'm good for nothing. And
Correct.
I am the one out on the street with the carts, with the books, with the bags, going from door to door. Yet I am good for nothing, and you are faithful and discreet. You don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
These are some of
Yeah.
the things that they need to ask themselves. So the brainwashing is real. Um, I've lost family members who didn't talk to me, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, I am of the opinion that I am old enough to make up my own mind to do what I want to do.
Absolutely.
So if someone doesn't talk to me, I have no problem with it. I am
Sure.
okay. Yeah, man, I'm good. I am very good with it.
Sure. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's all a question of decisions. So they make their decisions, we make ours,
Yeah.
and such is life. However, we know what we know, and we're
So,
not going to only to recover some social contact. We're
no,
not going to go back on what we already know. There's no way.
I'm not going to be the dog who returned to the vomit. Because
No.
the social contact means very little to me. How
Yeah.
you communicate with me means very little. I am
Yep.
not, I really don't care. There are 8 billion people on earth. Why should I make you me my problem?
Mm-hmm.
Can't make
Yep.
you me.
Here's what CJ says. Case in point, right here. Has a disability during COVID. I was by myself. Who helped you?
The word,
My worldly family.
Colin, I was asking you last time, can you do something about funerals? Colin,
Oh
please.
yes, I know, and that's coming. It's coming.
Colin,
Yes, I didn't forget.
because I remember my neighbor died and he was a witness and he died while he was disfellowshipped. And they didn't put his body in the kingdom hall, they put it outside. Under
Sure. Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
on a tent and they didn't have the service inside, they had it under a tent. And I'm saying this was so disrespectful. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to give grace to everybody, even the dead. So you're
Yes.
telling me all his life he had been there, more than 30, 40 years he's been there. And because of one mistake, you put his body outside on a playing field.
Yeah.
How how am I to view your God after you have done that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. How cruel is that?
How am I to view your God? I want to view your God as all loving, all caring, almighty. But how am I to view your God when your God allow you to do something like that? Remember,
Correct.
the gentlemen are not infallible. But the thing about it is they don't encourage you to take a dictionary to the meetings. I am
Yes.
a teacher, and if I am going to be doing a comprehension exercise, I'm going to ask that you pull out your dictionary
Mm-hmm.
because you might meet upon words that you do not know, or you might need a
Right.
clarification of the meaning.
Right. And that whole practice with the funerals contradicts their own teaching, because they always talk about the scripture that the wages that sins pays is death, right? So
Yes,
when you die,
is that
your sins are paid for.
yeah?
So why are you punishing the person still? Why are you rejecting them? They're putting themselves in the place of judgment, right?
The thing is,
This
and the
person
family was
died, but
so hurt.
they were an ex-witness. They were disfellowship, so you don't get to come in our building. That's
Wow.
unbelievable. Yeah,
The
it's
building
unbelievable.
that he helped to build, that he helped to paint, that he helped
Yes,
build it,
yes,
he helped to paint,
exactly.
he helped to renovate it, he would cut the yard, he would sweep up, he's always there early. None of that matter. He's dead now.
No,
With
no.
grace. I
Yep.
keep saying you do
And
not
you know what?
grace.
You don't even have to go as far as a disfellowship person. You can be an active witness, but if you weren't in good standing, right, in the congregation, you don't get the funeral at the Kingdom Hall, or a wedding, or a whatever it might be.
No, I had my wedding in a garden in
Yeah,
Ontario. I had my wedding at a hotel garden
sure. Yep.
because I thought it was just more beautiful than inside a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
But imagine that, even if you're in the congregation, you're active, you're still not guaranteed to be allowed to use this shrine, right? The Kingdom Hall is basically, it's idolatry. That's what it is.
let me tell you something else. I know
Mm-hmm.
I normally see them on my way. There's an open park, the Columbus Park, I think. When
Mm-hmm.
I go to my work, so I have to walk through the park and get to my workplace. And they would be
Mm-hmm.
standing there with the cart and whatever. And I remember this morning I was going about my merry business and I saw what I would consider to be an elder or whether the ministerial servants, and he would come and say, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning, how are you? Can I leave you something to read?" And I would say, and I said, "Oh, let me see what it is." And then he would show it to me, and I said, "Are you sure this is not propaganda literature? Propaganda Bible literature?" And he says, "No, no, no." Okay, then let me see what is going on. Oh, you can take your Bible and you can read this. And I said, no, no, no. What if I just want to read these without the Bible, without reading your stuff? I just want to read these.
Yeah.
No, because it will make your family life happy. It will, and it was just making your family life happy, making your family life happy. I'm like, but sir, I didn't tell you that my family life was not happy. I didn't.
Mhm.
And look at me and know if my family life is happy or not. So why are you introducing me to something that you don't know if my family life is happy or not?
Right. Right.
And then I looked at him and I said, let me tell you something, sir. I'm Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in Jesus Christ, the same one you call the archangel. Well, it's God in the flesh.
That's
This
right.
me is God in the flesh. And I see him a couple more mornings because when I'm walking to work, I would see him a couple more mornings. And he's never said anything more to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
I imagine.
I said, look, and I know now. So about a month ago, someone came to my gate and to my eldest, if they wanted to have the meetings on a Saturday, and they're inviting my son to meetings on a Saturday. And I'm saying, you know what? Y'all getting desperate now. On a Saturday, they want to have meetings on a Saturday. What?
Wow.
And then I have relatives who are extremely brilliant. They can't get to go to university and colleges because they have to serve. They have to be in servitude.
Oh, sure.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in servitude. My son is extremely brilliant, so he's now at university. I said to him, I pulled you because I didn't want you to get mixed up with something that you cannot get out of.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes to university. And I know persons who are his age who are in there and they're stuck. They can go to the
Yeah.
university, but I know that persons are growling and frowning and all of those things, under the quiet. They're not gonna do it outright, but they're gonna do it under the quiet because the host in Jamaica would speak. They're gonna do it quietly. Yeah, so basically that's my take. Um
Wow.
I am vigilant. I like to watch. I keep up with all the JW news that's going on. And as an avid reader, I make sure that nothing passes me and I look beyond what is written. Look, if we were looking beyond what is written,
Mm-hmm.
finish the sentence, sir.
Yeah.
If we
It'll be a whole different world.
we would never find ourselves in that situation.
That's right. That's
What
right.
ourselves in that situation? Because they come to you so smooth. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? It's like a nice coffee. I know you're a coffee drinker, right? And you get the top of the coffee and it is so smooth. And then you have this smooth, oh, it tastes so good. But when you get down to the bottom and take that big gulp, all,
Mm-hmm.
everything just go right down the throat one time. And you
That's
stop.
right. That's right. And before you know it, you're as you said,
You're
you're
choking.
trapped. You're trapped in it.
You can't come
Yep.
out and you're choking,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I appreciate very much you sharing some of that kind of personal information with us, and you know, it's yeah. We'll don't worry. We'll be pending, and I'll give a shout out to you when I make the funeral video. So
Please make a shout out on the funeral video. And I
I
also
will.
want to liaison with you if I could do a student exchange program where I can get my kids to see your kids and your kids to see my kids, and we can, have a,
Mm-hmm.
have a have a diverse meeting where we can exchange cultures and we can talk about different.
Absolutely.
Don't want to talk
Yeah.
about shut up.
Yeah.
But hold on
Yeah.
there. Don't make us for you. Colin, what do you call this in your country?
Uh. Uh.
Do you have it there?
I'm trying to figure out what it is. I can't really see very well. That's not a cocoa, is it? No. No. Probably has the same name, whatever it is, because I know you guys share a lot of remolacha or
In Jamaica, we call it a custard apple.
okay.
A custard. So this is my gift to you for the rest of the day. CJ down the Caribbean, what you call this, my love?
Thank you.
I got to go, Colin. See you later.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you for Drench for coming on and talking to us about her take on that. And that's very interesting. You know, those things that the people said, like about let your son die, and I hope a rock falls on you. Yes, those things are very true. Yep. Any jerk chicken? Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think we do. So yeah, that's definitely that'll be one of the one of my ideas. I've got like a list and I keep notes I have a notebook specifically for this, because when I get ideas, I have to write them down, because I get things. I mean, sometimes it'll be, I can wake up at 3 in the morning and just my mind is, and I'll have ideas for videos and I need to write it down as soon as I get it. That's kind of my inspiration. So yeah, the way JWs approach funerals, that will be coming up in a video, definitely. So so if you're still with us, thank you for still being here. I want to give you guys, before anybody gets too bored and leaves, and as I said before, thank you everybody that's here watching the video, and all of your diverse ways of supporting the channel, watching the videos, the other people that have sent super chats and things like that. Everything is appreciated. Thank you. To give you guys an update before I forget and before we go overtime here. Speaking of the public talk, as David said, your overtimes, we like the brother, or when they used to knock on the table to tell you that you were overtime. Just give you an update on what's going on with my daughter Cosette and that whole situation, the legal situation that's going on. So as this goes on, it's a dynamic thing. Things are going to change. Things are going to be modified. So basically what we're doing is, I've talked with Cosette very extensively about the whole situation, about what I'm doing. And yeah, absolutely, David. Yeah. And so basically, we're not going to pursue specifically the custody part of it. So the lawsuit that I brought up against her mother, which was several different things, there was basically like filing charges because of the discrimination, the mistreatment, the negligence, basically because of like what happened with Cosette trying to commit suicide and all those things, and then also getting the child support canceled, taken away from her, which I would still give some of that part of that to Cosette, but we want to get that so that I can send that directly to her, which is what I'm doing anyway. I just started doing it the last month, actually, just so you guys know. I didn't send the child support to her mother. I didn't send it. I said, I'm not sending it, period. And that was the end of the story. And I sent the half that would correspond to Cosette to a third party, okay, which I'm not going to mention any details about who that is, but I sent it to a third party. The idea is to get that money out of the hands of her mother, because she will not use it for Cosette. Okay, she will not use it for that. She's using that like it's her money, and she's basically neglecting Cosette. Okay, and then with what happened with her attempted suicide and the religious discrimination that she's suffering. So the custody part of it, basically Cosette doesn't want to move again. She doesn't want to move over here where I live. She wants to become independent once she yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing. Yes, it's child abuse charges. Okay, we're still proceeding with that for the abuse against her, verbal abuse, psychological abuse. spiritual abuse, all those things. Okay. But yes, they do. They do, David. They do recognize that when a minor is involved, they're actually pretty on the ball with that kind of stuff. But Cosette, realistically, she doesn't want to move over here where I'm living. She wants to become independent. She wants to basically just start working once she gets out of high school, start working, live on her own, and then start going to college. And for me, that's fine. I don't blame her. I mean, my circumstances are what they are. The city I'm living in right now, those are my circumstances. It's because of my job. I have my home here now. But if I had a choice, I mean, in a perfect world, I would not be in the city I am now. I wouldn't be living here. Believe me, I would leave in a heartbeat. But, I will support her if she's, going to be working, living on her own, and then going to college. I told her, I got your back. I'll help you, but you cannot stay with your mother. Okay, that's the whole thing here. That's the whole issue here. I don't care if it's with me or where you go, but you cannot be with her. You cannot be with that family in that situation. You'll always have dealings with them, but you need to be in your own space. So basically what's happening right now is that I just talked to my lawyer yesterday, and he showed me the rough draft for basically the charges. And the way this is going to go, first of all, is basically he's going to present that to my ex-wife directly first. He's going to go to her house and he's going to present those charges to her and say, listen, basically it's a pressure tactic. He's going to show her this paper, this document, and he's going to say, the child support's going to be canceled. You're mismanaging it. We have proof of that. We have testimony from your daughters. We have screenshots from conversations. We have audios. And we have the document from the hospital when Cosette tried to commit suicide, that it was because of the treatment that she's been receiving at home. And the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse, the emotional abuse, the spiritual abuse, all of that must stop. That must stop right now. And also, you must comply with the fact that I'm going to be sending, first of all, my daughter who's 20 years old, she's done. Okay, no more money for her, because they got that money in base of a lie. That she still needed to get that money, which would have been fine if it were true. But she needed that money because this was like over 2 years ago when this happened, when we had a court date because of that. And she still needed money because she was going to start college and all this stuff. She never did. She's at home with her mom doing absolutely nothing. And so he said that money for her, that part of the child support is gone. Okay? You must comply with that. And your ex-husband is going to be sending the money directly to your other daughter, Cosette. Okay? End of story, period. If we get so much as one more message, one more report that there's any more harassment, that there's any more abuse of any of the things that I've mentioned before from you or from your family, from your other family members, then I have this document right here. I will proceed to the Department of Police investigation and I will file the charges. So it's your choice. We're going to give you this opportunity to stop what you're doing. Okay? You will not take any action against me, against Colin, right? Basically, they're telling her, let it be, right? Let it be. But the document's there. And all I have to do is make one phone call to the lawyer and he's taking it to the police. And then from there, it's out of our hands. It's the police's issue now. And if something happens to my ex-wife, if she incurs in some kind of, crime, or if she broke the law in any fashion, if they find her, yes, that there was any type of child abuse, she's going to have to answer to the law. So it's a pretty big, lots of pressure they're putting on her. Also, the strategy of the lawyer was by not sending her the money anymore, that makes it more difficult for my ex-wife to get legal representation. Okay, cutting it off. Yeah, though there's no choices. There's no choices. And she's never been faced, I guarantee you, up until now, she's never been faced with this kind of legal action before. Okay, and I will do it. Okay, I will do it. So basically, that's what's going on right now with that situation. So with Cosette, I understand her. I understand her wishes. If she doesn't want to come and live here, that's fine. I will continue to support her and to help her to get independent and to live on her own. She already has a job lined up, and she's just finishing her last year of high school. She has to get through her apprenticeship that they do the last 3 months, which will be in September. That'll start in September of this year. So September, October, November, they do that. And then once she graduates, she already has pretty much some work lined up, and the JOA will want to persuade her against going to court. Yeah, well, we'll see about that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're not. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing they don't really like legal things like that. And thank you, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, they don't want their name drug into the courts. That's one thing, but it's going to get there. And I'll tell you guys the other thing that helps me as well. And I thank God that he gave me the courage and he gave me the strength to do this back in November. You guys remember when Cosette was here, when she visited me and we made those videos? That denouncement that I made, the document I have at the human rights, because of what happened with her uncle, when he denied her the opportunity in the bank to do her apprenticeship because she left the witnesses. That document we also have as evidence. And that information, that helps us tremendously. So thank God I did that. And I thank God for putting that in my heart and in my mind to do that back then, because that was that we have that document. We have the document from the hospital. Religious, exactly, Drench. Yes, religious persecution. We have the document from the hospital when the night that she was, committed to the hospital for her attempted suicide. And then it gives the reasons why and all of that. So that's one more point in our favor. And that's what's going on right now, guys. That's what's going on right now. So I'm waiting this week. Okay, as I said, the lawyer showed me the rough draft of the charges. He told me to look over it, and if I needed to make any changes or anything I wanted to add, I looked at it and I said, no, I think everything's good. Go ahead and proceed. So this week, I'm not sure exactly what day he's going to let me know, but he is going to be serving that on her. She's going to get a copy of it. Okay. And so basically, from there, it's pretty much just, wait and see what happens. We're going to wait and see if they change their tune, if they turn the volume down a couple notches, or what happens. Okay. And literally it's thank you, Drench. I appreciate that. Literally it's anything. I don't care what it is. The most insignificant little thing, and I'm going to say, okay, take it to the police, and then it's going to go to the courts. So that's what we're looking at right now. That's what we're looking at. So that's the situation with Cosette right now. But I'm talking to her every single day. Okay, and so she's always appreciative too of everybody here, mentioning her and giving her encouragement. She really appreciates that. Hopefully, soon we'll be able to get her back on here again with me. So honestly, Drench, right now I haven't really asked her. I haven't asked her if she's been watching them or not, but hopefully she'll be able to visit here again very soon, and I'll have her on the channel again. So yeah, so that's the situation right now. That's what we're looking at. Thank you. And they're doesn't rule out the possibility that because of the situation with the modification to the child support, there could possibly be we might have to have another court date in the future coming up here in the near future. So we just have to wait and see. I'm just letting the lawyer do his thing, and then he communicates anything to me and lets me know what's going on. So yeah, that's the situation. So to anybody that's watching the stream, I've always mentioned the diverse ways that you can support the channel, and also, you know, voluntarily, anybody that desires to support and donate for that cause, the legal cause. You know, there's the super chats during the lives. You have that option in any amount that you want. And then there's the information tab on the channel. You can go look at that, and there's some other options there as well. So I appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to wrap this up here very soon. Here, I have to go pick up my stepdaughters from work. So I'm going to hang this up here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for watching this live stream. I appreciate it, and I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is blessed, and we will be, you know, in touch. You'll be seeing more videos coming up here almost every day. You know, just as, you know, as long as I have ideas, if I get an idea, I put a video up. So there'll be more videos coming up this week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us here, and take care, be blessed, and we'll see you in the next CO visit.